Hi Harstem, French Protoss here to complain about Spine Forest and why Zerg is completely broken. They say they use drones and mining time to plant them. I say they will be useful at some point in the game, even if they come up early. I mean, can we really call these crawlers static defense, since these things can move and replant themselves anywhere on creep? They can hold an entire army while trade basing with speedlings. Another trade base, cost efficient, broken unit. One opening and you're dead. The Zerg trades more effectively and holds me with mineral structures and units only when my army is much more expensive. He kills my base faster than I do his. When he realizes he can mine gas and I have no more resources for anything but gate units, he makes mutas and kills me. Now here's the proof. A much lower ranked Diamond Zerg player beats me simply because it's a stronger race. He literally played beating master with stupid stuff with me, but it turned out just fine because it's Zerg anyway. So the question remains, is it Imba or do I suck? Cheers. Alright, so we got Mr. ADAV over here, who's a French Protoss player. We've had a couple of French guys before, all of them so far sucked. Let's see if ADAV can do his country a little better. This is not the tightest build order, I have to admit. There's a couple of executional errors here. He's gonna get a supply block at 23. For a Masters player, you probably should have figured out at this point how the first 3 opening minutes of this game work. So little note there, but we're gonna be looking at spines, muralisks, zerglings, and I'm expecting as the French call it, a trade base, and the rest of the world knows it as a base trade. So we're gonna have a look at that. No building workers. Hello. Can we get back to the worker production? Third pylon before tech? Wait, what is this? This was just a hatch first, wasn't it? His build order was so bad that he needs to put a probe in the wall to deal with 2 links after he chrono boost under that. That's not good, guys. That's not good. I actually loses it as well. If you lose another one, I'm gonna be a bit upset. Yeah, so the thing you want to do is you never want to get a third pylon before you throw down your tech. That's generally considered quite bad. It just delays your tech for no reason. So we're most likely gonna see a glaive build, but we're also seeing a sentry. My mind kind of goes to blink stalkers at this point. Just simply because glaive or charge with sentry isn't really a thing, but I guess you could see like a blink stalker sentry push. That also would make sense why the links would be good against that, right? Links kind of suck against glaives, not all that great against charge, but against stalkers they're quite good. So I'm just gonna be predicting a quick blink for now. Robo going down, no extra units being produced. Here comes the second gateway. Usually the second gateway in the glaive build or any of the twilight builds is supposed to go down at 3 minutes, and at the latest 3 minutes. So this one is about 45 seconds late, and he's gonna get glaives actually. So he's getting glaives, 1 sentry, 2 adepts, 2 gates, another pylon. That's not necessary. Like ideally you want to get 4 gates fast, so probably you get the 4 gates even before you get the 3rd pylon. This guy's getting the 4 gates after he gets the 4th pylon. So second sentry. Alright, this is not really a build order, I think. So I'm trying to be, you know, charitable for him as well, where it's like, what possibly could this be? You know, like where do all these units start working? Oh my god, are you joking? He's gonna go on the map with, oh, okay, yeah, there we go, thank god. Like where could this be where it's like, hey, this is all these units are gonna work together, you know? Where's the synergy in this army? You gotta be kidding me. If this happens, I'm gonna be slightly upset. Oh, that's a good reaction. I mean, this is completely fine, right? He has gateways ready. He has chrono boost. He can chrono boost glaives. What was that force field? Nice one. Absolutely terrible. He's gonna clean this up, but I think just for that you're not allowed to You're not allowed to complain, my friend. Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. Holy crap. Zerg's on +1 already. The prism. Okay, this feels like a build order that's just been thrown. Like there was no goal in this build order. It was just individual parts. This is a bit okay. So this build order. Imagine you're an app builder. So you work at a company that makes apps. They create new apps and they build them themselves and then they sell them or whatever. And you haven't really been talking to the boss for a couple of months, but he sees that you've been working real hard on something. So after 2 months, the boss comes over to you. It's like, hey, ADAV, like I see you've been working hard on an app. Like, what do you have so far? And you go, well, so far I have peer-to-peer connections, social networking capabilities, in-app purchases. You can buy skins, and also it can double as an agenda. And the boss says, all right, so it sounds like you put in a lot of work in this build order, but like, well, what is the app about? Like, yeah, it's just, some calendar and then some social networking on the side with dates and stuff. And the overall plan isn't quite there yet. I'm just really working on getting as many different parts in as possible. Then I can always scrap things in the end. The boss just looks at you, sends an email to HR, and next day you can be looking for a new job, because that's a crap app, my friend. And this build is just as freaking bad. Like, there's absolutely nothing in this build that is slightly redeeming. You went fast glaive, you cut a crap ton of work. Okay, I guess it makes sense. You want to lock them in. Okay, no, this was good. This was good. Please remove the weird face I did. That did not just happen. Like, everything you did so far is absolutely terrible. This is the least efficient all-in I've seen in my life. Okay, 3 and 4 are coming up at this point. You only have a single immortal. Like, if you're actually focusing on hitting with a tight all-in, you could do way better than this. You could probably have like literally 20 more supply and 2 extra immortals. But like, you didn't hit a glaive timing. That means you should have way more immortals at this point. I just don't know what you've been doing. Also, have you lost any workers? You lost 2 workers and yet you only have 37 at the 7-minute mark. How can you not be saturated yet? How's it even possible? Like, what have you actually been doing? Oh, this is a classic. If he loses this, it would actually make me the happiest man alive. Please. That prison will come and pick it up, right? Guys? No, too late. Better luck next year, man. Better luck next year. Okay, so a couple of adepts. I'm not a big fan of warping in stalkers. Adepts just have way better DPS, are a bit cheaper. Especially when you have the glaives. You can use the batteries to repair buildings, by the way. Which might be a wise thing at some point. If you feel like you need it, then you don't need to warp in quite as much. Could have had a lot more units on this side. Now, this is where the imbalance starts, guys. As we see, 4 spines, 5 spines on the top of the main ramp are finishing up. Meanwhile, this army gets cleaned up by +1 links. It's gonna have to be either a recall or, yeah, completely given up. Meanwhile, also floating the casual 12 on the minerals. Zerg also floating some minerals, but you see here I'm gonna do something. Give a little bit of credit to the Zerg. It is normal for Zerg to float minerals if he's playing mass ling and only has 2 hatches because he lost his 3rd. Like, that is not weird. And you guys will say, oh, that's the 2nd immortal that died like this. You guys will say, yeah, that's a cheap cop-out. But no, that's actually a thing. Like, if you play mass ling with Zerg, you're gonna need at least 4 hatches. And he just lost his 3rd hatch. So, I don't think this guy's macro is actually that bad. I actually think the Zerg is macroing pretty okay. He's getting his +2, his extra links. Next push out, Prism is still alive, which is nice. Now we have this, once again, full wall. Probably want to be warping in some units here. And probably want to be healing the buildings with our batteries as well. Rather than not doing that. No rewall, okay. That's interesting. So this is gonna be broken here. In the same time we have... hello, please come to the army. I guess this is the point of contention really. It's like, are these spines too powerful? I guess this is the base trade scenario. Spire is on the way as well. The thing here is that really all he needed to do was kill the 3rd base and warp in 6 adepts at home behind his wall, and he would have been completely fine. Even now, he's actually in a kind of okay spot. But I just want to plant a flag here where everyone can see it, that this game should already be over in favor of the Protoss. If he would have handled this correctly. He's really only behind in upgrades. It's +2, so that's kind of a big deal. But he's... like, the situation isn't like... he should have done this a very long time ago, so he wouldn't have lost his natural. Just warp these in, and then just win the game. Like, you're still going to be two-shotting links. Like, your adepts might die a bit faster because they also have +2, but you're going to be completely fine. This is actually good positioning here by the Protoss as well, so I kind of like these moves. Like, this was good. Outside of the spine range, a little bit of a corner. 2 workers against 15. Recall is available. It could be used, could also not be used, and perhaps you could lose a couple of extra workers against these links. +2 links do tend to fight really well, so yeah. 4 more workers go down. But he also kills this hatchery. So right now we have 11 supply against 33. What is the supply in? There is 2 links, there's a queen, and there's 8 drones. For the Protoss, we have 22 army supply. I love that this base is still alive. I absolutely love that. He's gonna go there now and see it, I guess. I mean, there's just nothing for the Zerg, right? Like, you could literally just kill these spines and win the game. So he's gonna kill this hatchery first, rather than seeing if there's mining anywhere else. It's an interesting call. This thing is nowhere to be seen. Okay, more probes are being produced, but this base is pretty much mined out. Mutas are on the way. We have 2 Mutas out already. 3rd Muta is coming as well. But this isn't that useful because there's really not that much gas income. He made it seem in his email like there's going to be so much gas income. Like when he had gas left over, he just built freaking Mutas, guys. When he built 2 of them. Oh no. Yeah, he finds an overlord. I like that he really is trying to look for things around the map rather than just using a hallucination and killing these spines and winning the game. Instead, he's just moving his entire army around the map. Yeah, there we go. After he scouts the entire bottom side, he's like, I wonder if there's a better way to do it. It's like, hallucination. Hallucination. Here come 3 Mutas on a mission. He's gonna be able to get 2-3 workers, I guess. Just 2 for now. Now, once you scout Mutalisk, you need a response, right? This can come in many variations. Like, there are diverse responses to Mutalisk. One of the responses to Mutalisk is moving out to the middle of the map so the Mutas have another chance to go into the main base. Like, this army hasn't grown in the past 3 minutes. The spines have gotten in a better position and now there's 4 Mutas out. So basically nothing has changed, except that Zerg is in a better spot than before. Okay, yeah, he's anticipating the Mutas coming in. But like I said, you're gonna need an answer majority of the time. And the answer can come in either Blink, it can come in a Stargate and then Phoenixes. The thing that is not an answer is chasing the Mutalisk with Stalkers that don't have Blink and Adepts and a Sentry. This is not an army split either. You can't send 1 Stalker and a Sentry somewhere and then hope that he forgets that Adepts don't shoot up. Like, that's not how it works, my friend. This actually is a sick game. It always sucks that with the Iotises we know who's gonna lose already, because honestly, if you would tell me that the TOS is gonna lose this, I would call you insane. TOS is up a base. Like, he literally has enough units to defend 2 bases at the same time. He can split his army in half and never take probe damage again. But instead what he's doing... not the prism. He's just flying. He's just walking around. He just keeps getting tricked. This is unbelievable. This is really unbelievable. This is like the kid that, you know, you can tap on the left shoulder and he'll always look there. So you first tap him on the left, he looks there. You tap on the right, he looks there, and you're always on the other side. It's like, this guy would be great to have around if you have a prank channel. Except people probably would think you're faking it. Like, my man 80 AV is the ultimate prank victim. You could just do the same prank again and again. You just fall for it. Over. Look, here it goes again. There's, oh, my left shoulder, oh, no one there. Oh, my right shoulder, no one there. Like, man, I used to do this in school. I wish this guy... What a split. What was he defending? What was this? Let's have a look. Mining base. Mining base. And he defends the ramp. What is he doing? Like, what actually is he doing? That's like making a safe to defend the hallway while you leave the vault open. Like, that's not how banks work. Single stalker? Like, at this point, the game is actually starting to look a little bit scary. I still truly believe that if he throws down, if he gets mining some gas and actually just gets 2 phoenixes, these mutas are going to be completely useless. And thus the game probably just kind of ends. Right? Like, there's nothing else on the ground really that can deal with adepts in a good way, unless banelings start being added. But what is my man doing? Pranked. What's in here? An adept? Drop it. How is it possible? How did he make masters? This might be the first guy who, when he says my uncle works at Blizzard, so I got higher MMR, he's actually right. Like, he's the guy. Like, his dad is Bill Gates. Like, there's no way in hell that this guy made it legit. There's just no way. How can you just chase mutas with slow units? For 5 minutes, he's building a manor hatch. I mean, Brutal is absolutely the best player in the world. I love this guy. I want more of Brutal's replays to start with. This is cool. You know, you could just have a series following Brutal replays, because this guy is an absolute player. Look at this. Absolute sim moves here by Adolf, chasing the mutas. Man, this is so good. This actually is so good. Entire army to the natural. Entire army to, not even in position. Like, he could come from the left side, probably still snap 2 probes. How many probes did he lose to the mutas? I wish you could see that. 5 here, 0, 2, 3, and 1 muta died. So at least 10. 5, 2, 3. Yeah, that sounds about right. But I think it's gonna be more like 12 or 13. 4 or 5 mutas. It's insane. Oh, here it comes. Oh, my Sim City. He actually could have flown over here again. He didn't do it, but he could have. This is so good to watch. Actually, this is a bit like the AI in Hitman, where you can like knock on a door or something and they'll follow you. Then they look around. They're like, oh, I guess I go back. And as they walk back, you start chasing them again. And you stab them in the neck or something like that. Like, this is easy. Maybe he's like... This is not Alpha Star. It's like one of those dumb AIs, you know? Like, no deep learning. You just got coded. If mutas are there, he just follows them for a bit. My man ADAV. Here it comes. Walking across the map. It's like, I think I've given my opponent enough time now. 6 minutes after I was up 25 supply. 36 to 11. I think now it's time. And if he sees the spines, man, he's gonna absolutely start fuming again. Stupid spines! And then he fights outside the spine range. I guess he's still gonna lose because he's just 18 Udalisk. Oh no. How does it feel to be on your own? Oh, my man ADAV. I love this. This was really good. Thanks so much for sending it in. What did you say? Well, you had some weird things, didn't you? Can we really call them static defense? They can hold an entire army while trade basing with speedling. Actually, the only time he tried to attack into spines, he destroyed the spines and got himself into a really good position. Afterwards, my man ADAV had a time where for like a minute he went downstairs to kill the third base, then he went all the way to the bottom where there was only 3 spines out of position, and he had an immortal in his army. So I think just the immortal, if you micro it, could be good enough to kill the 3 spines and just instantly win the game. But even after that, if you just discount that, I think the part between 12 and 17 minutes, where he's just chasing Muras with Adept, Sentry, Stalker, and a single Immortal, like the Benny Hill team over there would. It's just so good. Like, I can't even believe you can look at this replay and think this was imbalanced. Like, it's just not possible. Imagine you're making a test, like a math test or something like that, and you're like, instead of writing something down, like you just puke on the paper and then you hand it in. And then when you get back an F, you're acting all like, how is this possible, man? Freaking math problems, impossible to solve. This was not what the material was all about. Like, mate, it really doesn't matter what the material is all about. You just puked all over the paper. Like, you suck, and you suck really, really hard. This was not good. This was bad. Alright, thanks everyone for watching ADAV's replay with me. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And there's more of this in the boxes down here, so have a cheeky look at that, eh? Well, yeah.